Episode 59. You are listening to the new Glam Gal podcast, the podcast where style meets confidence. Conquer the frustration of trying on clothes and learn to dress and love the body you are in. There are no size or weight requirements here. I'm your host, Miss J. Join me, won't you? Hey, Glam Gal, welcome back to the podcast. I want to talk about time-traveling closets. This is often something I come across when working with my clients. And it doesn't matter your age, your background, your profession. A lot of the glam gals I work with have what I call time-traveling closets. And your time-traveling closet has a wardrobe across many decades. It has a wardrobe across many years. It's items from high school. It's items from college days. It's sometimes even items from elementary school. And it's not just a time-traveling closet. Sometimes your closet does not only reflect the different eras of your own lifetime, it also reflects the different sizes that you were or that you hope to be. So not only do I find that my clients have an array of decades in their time-traveling closets, they also have an array of sizes, sometimes 4 different sizes or more in one closet. The reason I want to talk about this today is because I feel like this is one way to get a quick win for you without you having to completely take everything out of your closet. This is a way to get you a quick win without having to go through the whole rigmarole of eliminating items that you hold near and dear to your heart. And I really want to give you some quick wins today, because I think that if I can give you a quick win, it will have a bolstering effect to help you create some bigger changes, some more lasting changes, not just to your wardrobe, but to your life. If we're willing to eliminate things that don't serve us, even in something as small as getting rid of a pair of socks that you haven't worn in 10 years, a pair of underwear that you haven't worn since high school, an outfit that is 3 sizes too big or too small, these teeny tiny little quick wins. Committing to yourself in a small way that I only choose things that serve me. I will only have clothing on hand that actually fits me. I will not hold my body hostage to a size or to a weight that it currently isn't. So first, let's talk about the time-traveling closet component. Those of you who have items from various decades. Now, some of you, it's just a few years back. Others of you, it could be actual decades of garments all stored in the same place. Here's why I want to discourage you from doing that. When you walk into your closet, you should be able to easily and readily identify what you can wear, create an outfit, and then go forth and conquer and slay. It's very hard to constrain down and make quick judgments about your outfit and then go forth and conquer and slay when you go to a closet that is full of items that don't fit your current style, that don't fit your current body, and are decades old. It's like every morning you're going to have to sort through a jungle of weeds in order to get to the flowers. So it's like walking into a garden and you have to push aside these crazy weeds, these overgrown shrubs in order to get to a small rose bush. Think of the insanity of that. What gardener would purposefully plan their garden that way? Oh yes, there's this beautiful rose bush in the center, but in order to get to the center of the garden, you're going to have to push aside, shoulder height weeds. You're going to have to move past the prickly bushes. Don't mind the shrubs, the extra gross cover that you're going to have to sludge through. Make sure you bring the machete with you. I don't want you to have any semblance of that when walking into your closet. Now, obviously, I'm being slightly hyperbolic here, but I want you to start considering that some of you have an overgrown garden situation happening in your own closet. And if we were to go through your closet, it would be a trip through the decades. We'd see what you dressed like in junior high, in high school, and college, some of you graduate school, and so forth and so on. So, my darling glam gal, your first mission and your first quick win that I want to give you, should you choose to accept this mission, I want you to get rid of any items of clothing that haven't been worn in the last 5 years. Now, why do I say 5 years as opposed to 10 years? Because I find that the further back we go through your time traveling closet, the more drama you have about the items that are in there. If I ask you to remove things that are from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you're going to give me a list of reasons why you're really committed to keeping them. So rather than go through that rigmarole, let's just go through the past 5 years. Anything that you have not worn in the last 5 years, get rid of it. It likely no longer suits your sense of style. It likely no longer fits you. And 3, even if it does fit you, would you still buy it today? That is the all-important question. A lot of you will give me reasons why you should keep things, but then I ask you, would you buy that item today? And more often than not, the answer is no. And if it's no, it must go. Now, with regard to those of you who have a time traveling closet in terms of the number of sizes that you have in your closet, I want you to get rid of anything that is 3 sizes too big. Notice I didn't say 2 sizes too big or 1 size too big because there's so much drama you'll give me. Look at all the things your brain comes up with. And I'm talking to those gals who really have this issue. If you have an item that is 3 sizes too small for you, get rid of it. Here's why. Likely those items, A, no longer fit your sense of style. B, they don't fit the woman you are today. And C, even if they did fit you, would you still buy it today? Likely the answer will be no. If it's no, it must go. I know that this can be a hard sell for some of you. Some of you are super committed to having lots of options available to you because you think that's a good thing. It's not. What's happening in your brain is every time you enter into your closet, and it's kind of like a jungle with that tiny little rose bush in that small section in the back, you're actually creating decision fatigue for yourself. Because instead of having to make, let's say, 10 small decisions to put together a stylish outfit, you're having to eliminate 50 items, 70 items, some of you it's like 100 items, to get to that small amount of clothing that you can actually work with to create an outfit for the body and the style that you have today. So you're saying a lot of no's, which are tiny little decisions. No to that, that's too old. No to that, that doesn't fit. No to that, that doesn't fit. And over again, and so on and so forth. And all these little no's are exhausting to your brain. You're creating decision fatigue before we even get to the good stuff. So that by the time we get to the good stuff in your closet, your brain's already tired. It's not necessarily going to look out for the most stylish outfit. You're not going to be making decisions from the higher part of your brain. Your brain's going to go to automatic things that it's used to wearing and the combinations that it's used to wearing it in. It'll automate for you because it's already made these hundreds of tiny little snapshot decisions. You're creating decision fatigue unnecessarily. Now, this brings me to my gals who are clever and they like to lawyer their way around things. And they'll say, well, I have a dedicated section in my closet to items that don't fit me or are too old, but I'm not willing to get rid of. So I'm not having any decision fatigue happening because I'm not making any decisions about them because they're in the corner of my closet. Nay, my darling. Your brain still is accounting for them when you walk into that closet. Your brain still has to go through the process of visually seeing something and then reminding itself to ignore it. There's still a lot of visual clutter. You still have an environment that's not serving your higher interests, your higher goals. And if you're super committed to keeping those items, put them in a place where you don't have to see them every day. Who wants to go into a garden where there's a ton of weeds and overgrown shrubbery? Now you may say, well, ignore that. If you look past that, there's a rose bush back there. Well, yeah, technically there is, but I still have all this visually unappealing shrubbery and weeds I have to look at. And I want you to analogize all those clothes that don't fit you from those multiple decades and those different sizes. They're weeds and shrubbery cluttering up your closet. And your brain still has to go through the process of visually ignoring them in order to get to the good stuff. That's still causing some fatigue. It's still cluttering up your environment. It still doesn't serve you. My darling glam gals, I want you to stop time traveling through your closet. Let your memories be your memories. Clothing has no magical ability to store memories. Only your brain can do that. And give your darling brain a break. It makes enough decisions during the day without having to overlook all the weeds and shrubbery you have growing in your closet. So, get rid of anything that's 3 decades too old, 3 years too old, 3 sizes too big, 3 sizes too small. If you wouldn't buy it today, and the answer would be no, then it must go. Let's get it, glam gals. Miss J out. P.S. iTunes has changed their algorithm, meaning it's harder for people to find the podcast without you leaving me a review. All reviews make it easier for other glam gals to benefit from this free podcast, so I would appreciate a review on iTunes. Thank you in advance. Much love. Miss J officially out.